Finally, welcome back. Enjoy the review. Peace. What's going on, you guys? We're back. Apologize for taking this too long, for these reviews taking too damn long. I was supposed to have send you guys these reviews about a while back, but things went from bad to worse, and things got away, and so I apologize for that misconvenience. But anyway, we're here anyway. And Dark Knight week continues as me and Dark Knight 987 are gonna take you back to Gotham, as we're gonna give you guys our review for Batman Returns. Now, Batman Returns is directed once again by Tim Burton. The film, the characters are based on characters by Bob Kane. The film stars the return of Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, the late Michael Gough, the late Pat Hingle, and Michael Murphy. And the music is done once again by Danny Elfman. So, so we are going to talk about the plot. We're gonna give our insight. You know the deal. So, all right. So in the prologue, socialites Tucker and Esther Cobblepot give birth to a deformed baby boy named Oswald. Disgusted by his appearance and wild demeanor, they confine the baby to a cage and ultimately throw him into the sewer, where he is discovered by a family of penguins at the Gotham Zoo. 33 years later, millionaire Max Schreck proposes to build a power plant to supply Gotham City with energy, though he is opposed by the city mayor. During Schreck's speech, Gotham is attacked by a disgraced former circus troupe, the Red Triangle Gang. Despite the efforts of Batman to stop the violence, Schreck is abducted and taken to the sewer, where he meets Oswald Cobblepot, the gang's secret leader, now known as the Penguin. The Penguin blackmails Schreck with evidence of his corporate crimes into helping him return to the surface, and he accepts. Meanwhile, Schreck's secretary, Selena Kyle, discovers the true purpose of Schreck's power plant to drain Gotham of its energy and bring the city under Schreck's control. Schreck pushes her out of the window to silence her, but she survives the fall and vows revenge, taking up the mantle of Catwoman. The Penguin makes his presence known by rescuing the mayor's baby with a staged kidnapping attempt and a request to be allowed into the Hall of Records to find his parents. Batman's alter ego, Bruce Wayne, voices his suspicions about the Penguin's true motive and investigates his background and connection to the Red Triangle Gang. During a meeting with Schreck, Wayne meets Kyle, and the two become attracted to one another. And attempts to sabotage one of Schreck's businesses, she escapes, but is injured and swears revenge on Batman by allying with the Penguin to frame him for an undiscussed crime. As Wayne and Kyle begin a romantic relationship, the Penguin abducts Gotham's Ice Princess and kills her, framing Batman for the act, at the same time sabotaging his Batmobile to rampage through Gotham until Batman disconnects the controlling device and ends his partnership with Catwoman, who didn't anticipate the murder. When she rejects his advances, he attempts to kill her with one of his flying umbrellas, but she survives after falling into a greenhouse. During the chase, Batman records the Penguin's disparaging remarks about the people of Gotham and later plays them during his next speech, destroying his image and forcing him to retreat to the sewer, where he reveals his plan to abduct and kill all of Gotham's firstborn sons as revenge for what his parents did to him. At a charity ball hosted by Shrek, Wayne and Kyle meet and discover each other's secret identities. We'll touch on that later. The Penguin appears and reveals his plan, intending to take Shrek's son Chip with him, but Shrek gives himself up in his son's stead. Batman foils the kidnappings and heads for the Penguin's lair. The Penguin attempts to have his army of penguins bomb the city and kill everyone in Gotham, though Batman and his butler Alfred jam the signal and order the Penguins to head back to the sewer. Batman arrives and confronts the Penguin. In the ensuing fight, the Penguin falls through a window into the sewer's toxic water. Shrek escapes but is confronted by Catwoman, who intends to kill him, but Batman pleads for Kyle to stop, unmasking himself in the process. Shrek draws a gun and shoots Wayne, and then shoots Kyle multiple times, but she survives and electrocutes herself and Shrek with a stun gun. We are also going to talk about that too. Wayne, who was wearing body armor, finds Shrek's remains, but Kyle is nowhere to be found. The Penguin emerges from the water, but eventually dies from his injuries and from the toxic sewage. And his Penguin family lays his body to rest in the water. In the aftermath, as Alfred drives him home, Wayne sees Kyle's silhouette in an alley, but only finds her cat, who he decides to take home with him. The back signal appears in the sky as Catwoman, who survived, watches. And that's the end of Batman Returns. Okay. One of the things I want to touch on, and one of the things that I can't understand, is how the hell the Selina Kyle, how the hell was she still alive? When we both saw her, when me and you both, dude, saw her get electrocuted with Shrek, who is a complete asshole, by the way. We saw her get electrocuted with Shrek. So yeah. What I've been trying to wrap my head around this since I saw this movie. How the hell is she still alive?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, what do you think, man?
Yeah, that I have been baffled myself as to how did she survive that, because as many people may know how chaotic that scene was. Everything just like exploded all around them, collapsed all around them. No one can survive, being collapsed on top of it. And yeah, you know what I mean, getting stuff, falling, and nobody can survive that. But how she did it just remains a mystery. We never figured that out.
And then the fact that she's alive at the end, too.
Yeah.
She's fucking alive at the end of the movie. Looking up at Batman Signal like nothing happened. You know what I mean? But I don't understand that. That's something that I've been trying to wrap my head around. By the way, man, sorry for talking over you.
You're fine.
But as everything else goes, there was one scene that I liked, and it was one that I had it was one that I had talked about when I was reading the plot. When the the party scene between Selena and Bruce Wayne. Um, like they know who they know who each other is now. You know what I mean? They know who she. He knows who she is. He knows, and she knows who he is. And what I liked about that was is that the look on his face, the look on their faces, tells a story, a complete story. And I like the what I loved how they set up. I love how they set up the story between Selena and Bruce and the movie. And not only that, I liked what they did. Even though Danny DeVito, I gotta give props to him in this movie because he plays a hell of a goddamn penguin. It's not like the ones from it's not like the one from the comics or from the 1960s version. He plays it more dark. He plays it more horrific. He plays a tortured soul. The penguin in this version is a tortured soul trying to figure out why his family betrayed him, why his family, decided to throw him out of
Basically abandoned you.
yeah. Thank you. But I like that aspect. The one thing I hated about this movie was Max Shrek, Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken could play an asshole if he wanted to, but Max Shrek was a complete scumbag. It's like if you take Donald Trump. Give him white hair. Give him white hair. Give him more power than he fucking needs, and that's Max Shrek. A glorious scumbag. That's exactly what he is. But I still think that Max Shrek was still a good villain. Max Shrek was one hell of a villain in this movie. Christopher Walken did what he needed to do. And he was having fun doing the role too. Selena Kyle. Let's talk about that. Michelle Pfeiffer. I love her to death. And I think she's hot as hell. No one could cover Selena. No one could cover Michelle Pfeiffer's version of Catwoman. I love what they did with her. I love what they did with her in the movie. Catwoman, she turned into, when Max Shrek killed her, she came back and turned into one hell of a femme fatale in this movie. You know what I mean? But something else too that I didn't quite understand. The cats. Okay. She ends up getting thrown out of the window by Christopher Walken's character in the movie. And then the next thing you know, the swarm of cats comes to her, and they start biting her, they start licking her or something like that. And then I guess she's alive, I guess, because of that reason. I didn't understand that part all that much.
Yeah. I'm right down the boat with you, man. I never understood that part either. You need to gather around her, and something just like this magic or something happens, and she wakes up and she's alive. Because if somebody gets thrown out from the house, that's supposed to kill you. Yeah. So, I never understood that part myself. I'm still puzzled by that part too. So.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted to touch on too, is that people said that this movie sucked for some unknown, stupid reason that people said that this movie was um that this movie was completely retarded, was this movie was completely dumb, completely misguided, which I believe is bullshit. Cause here's the thing, I love this movie. This movie was really, really good. I don't give a damn what other people said. Uh, I don't give a damn what anybody said about this movie. This movie was good. Hell, this you could even say that this movie was better than the first one. You know what I mean? And then the controversy that happened in '93 and '92 as well, when this parental backlash, people will see. I watched this movie back then. I did not care what anybody else said about this movie. This movie, to me, is one of my favorite movies that I've ever seen in my life. And I enjoy it 100%. For people to say that this movie was complete shit, was completely fucking stupid. And it pisses me off that we have assholes like that think that this movie was not I think that this movie was not great at all. This movie was great. This movie was good. That's why I say fuck you to the critics, and I say fuck you to the people that said that this movie was shit. And also, I'm here to prove your asses wrong. Because I give this movie a 10 out of 10. You goddamn right I'm going to do it. Because this movie showed a more darker tone than the first one. This movie showed less of Batman in that brooding mode that he was in the first movie. But he was also this movie also showed that Michael Keaton could play Batman. Is still one of the best Batman in the Batman film franchise. Would you agree with that statement?
Yes, I would. I also agree with the rating, 10 out of 10. Here's why I say that, because I, as a longtime Batman fan, when these movies came out, of course I didn't know much about them. I didn't know. Some people say they're bad. Well, you know what? That's their opinion. But this is my opinion. I thought they were good movies. Because someone is a longtime Batman fan of the Batman franchise, from Batman to Batman to this one, I thought it was a great movie. And damn right, I would give it a 10 out of 10. And you know what? I watch it over and over if I have to. I will, because that kind of, and I'm going to say a quick thing about, of course, the video is a big one. I'm going to admit, when I first watched it, yeah, he was a little freaky, but he played the character really good. I mean, Michelle Pfeiffer as, Catwoman again, as, Slim Cow, she played it really well. So, I agree with that rating of 10 out of 10. This movie is a good movie. If you have not seen it, you out there in YouTube world, then we would strongly recommend that you watch this yourself. What do you think of Danny DeVito's thing on? What do you think of Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman? What do you think about the movie itself? What do you think? If you haven't seen it, we recommend you try it. But this is our rating of 10 out of 10. This is our opinion. This is what we get.
Yeah. So, what I believe is that yes, the movie has pacing issues. Yes, the movie can be a little brooding at times. But that's what makes the movie so fucking good. I've been a Batman fan since I can remember. And this movie, I could also admit too that the first time I saw this movie when I was a kid, when I was little, the first time I ever saw this movie, Danny DeVito scared the shit out of me as the Penguin. You know what I mean? The way he took himself into that role, the way he transformed into that role of Oswald, from Oswald Cobblepot to the Penguin. was magnificent as well, and I give Tim Burton a lot of credit. People want to shit on Tim Burton for making dark and brooding films and all that stuff. Which another film that I'm going to get into and another day, Sweeney Todd. That's another one of my favorite movies. Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. People said that that was the worst fucking musical ever made by by uh by Tim Burton. I love that. I love that musical because of the dark tones, because of what Johnny Depp brought to the character as Sweeney Todd. But I'm gonna get into that down the line later on. But
Yeah, we will. Definitely.
as far as everything else goes, yeah, you goddamn right. I give Batman Returns a 10 out of 10. Now, what do I think about Batman Forever? Well, you're gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to wait to find out here in a little while.
Yep,
So,
accepted.
so yeah. So, if you like the movie, let us know in the comments section what y'all guys thought of Batman Returns. Also, if you think the movie sucked, let us know in the comments section why you thought it sucked. Uh, so I am, as always, Mr. Grimreaper Fallen 2 with Dark Knight Edit 7, and we'll see you all in the afterlife. Peace.